Yo, Evoken, how you doing, man? Hello there, guys. So... I was just doing some additional Japanese work, so... I just thought I'd take a break. Won't have terribly long, so I've got to get some work done and then get some sleep, but hey-ho, we got enough time to return. Thought miles will go for it, really. I'll be interested to see what happens. Just gonna go ahead here, give me a moment. Just getting set up still. I tell you what, I don't know how I had things before on my desktop. But it's like I really need to like get the document shortcuts in here somewhere. Like I miss them and I don't know how I got them. I just miss it. How you doing there, Alexander? Good to have you. Hello there, Helson. Good to have you, or Helen, as his friends like to call him. Indeed, it's good to have a turn. I'll be interested to see what happens. He has named the turn. Well, he said. Sorry. He said in the email, like, Jaws theme tune, so, Okay, I guess we'll see there. Alright, I'm sorry about that, Helson. I'm sorry, man. I mean, in fairness, I don't have any sort of, like, schedule or anything rational, anything that'd actually be, like, user-friendly or viewer-friendly, just kind of whenever, if ever. How you doing there, Ifnit? Well, we'll see about that. How you doing there, Proto? Good to have you, my man. How you doing there, Ryzen? No, you can. No, you know can has. I wonder what he means there. That's interesting. He said Jaws theme tune. Just literally Jaws theme tune. So, I don't know. Assuming subnames, but I guess we'll see. He didn't actually have detection. So I don't forget a firm location of anything. I guess we'll see. Oh dear God, I hope that base is not actually going to need to be garrisoned there. Alright. There's a mighty amount of submarines inside of the Celebus area. Mighty old amount of submarines. Trusty? What? Did we hit Trusty? I feel like we hit Trusty. Yeah, we did. Oh my God, she's back. I don't know why I'm really happy about that. It's kind of like, okay. I mean, that's not the thing I expected there. Oh, he's mining. Oh wow. I don't know why I found that so like endearing, but it's endearing. I don't know what other way I can put it. It just feels endearing, to be honest. He's really quite bold there with the mines. So I do have our task force there. Hopefully they do make it. Can but hope. Goddamn Trusty. Oh wow. Yeah, that's about typical, isn't it? Okay. So SC yeah, our sub-chaser gets hit by a torpedo. Well, I'd rather be a sub-chaser than anything else, but I mean, I'm pretty impressed that he actually hit the sub-chaser there. Yeah, she's gonna go down there. That sucks. Yeah, she goes down. But I mean, at least it wasn't into anything else. That's actually fairly rare. I don't know what the maneuverability of the sub-chaser is there, but I don't imagine it's anything particularly, like, low. I'm gonna be fairly curious about that one. We'll see. Looks like we're moving into the day phase here shortly. So ideally things will be good. Yeah, into the day phase. Still time for submarine interceptions, I do believe. But I think we've made it through... Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Every time. So she took a torpedo there. She was carrying the JNAF Koi there. On fire, heavy damage. Will she make it? Well, she hasn't gone down immediately. She took one torpedo. She can go into port, which she was going to go into anyway. But yeah, he really does have a tremendous submarine presence in that area, which is somewhat concerning, really. Alright, objects, yep. Indeed. I do have this fantastic ability to jinx myself. Fantastic ability. Some might even say supernatural ability to jinx myself. Looking good so far, though. I mean, yeah, 2 ships being hit. But in fairness, we did have the I-25 that had a very similar string of success not too long ago, so comes and goes, really. I was hoping for a few more hits there at Kianko, but apparently not. But I'm going to be increasing the amount of bombers there. I did move another 2 satellite groups to Langkao, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get more aviation up that way. But indeed, we're going to have another 2 squadrons of satellites out of Langkao. That should be great. I mean, we can go ahead and bomb either the airfield or bomb ground troops as well. Things like that do go a long way, just helping out... helping us out, really. Just over a long time, they can have a nice impact. They can definitely cause problems. Okay. Hitting him out here as well. We will be bombarded again today. I don't imagine he's too far from crossing, actually. It's Major Road. Even in combat mode, it would only take 4 days. It might take him longer, potentially due to light fatigue or disruption, but I never simply can't take him out much longer. A little bit of damage there. Okay, continuing to hit the airbase. And the good news is if we do hit airbase supply, obviously that does stop the base of supply. I wonder how much supply he could have there, really. Excuse me. That's an interesting question. Ah, there we go, supply dumps. Well, however much he has there, it's a little less now. I imagine he's probably got some supply there. He did get some ships in there. He may fly something in, not too sure. It actually looks like a very successful day today, actually. We've seen quite a number of actual hits in the runway there. That's quite good. Oh yeah, that was a really good day there. So 4 air base hits, 1 supply base hit there, and 14 hits to the runway. That was actually a really, really successful day there. Sitting out these lilies here to go ahead and bomb him. I think I'm giving the armor a day to rest here, so I thought I'd send in the actual bombers just to try and cause some damage. Just prevent him from a chance of rest, ideally. I think I set them to 10,000 feet by mistake. I plan to go for 5k. Oh well. Can always change it. At least it confirms there's no AA there. So attacking the 23rd Group Army of the 50th Chinese Corps. SB freeze there once again. Ideally we can drive him off with the key 40 freeze here. Right, so we do drive them off. We do destroy one of them, which is very nice. Okay. Castor, that's interesting. So it's good to have names there. Names usually are accurate. They can be wrong, but they're usually accurate. Seeing a couple ships. Okay. Right, okay. The Wake Island mission cancelled due to bad weather. Should be too bad, really. And it does seem like there's no cap at Wake Island, as far as I can tell. For the last few days we haven't seen any, so good sign, I guess. Okay, moving on here. So, nothing too bad. I mean, we did have sharks in the water there. I just had to open my mouth, didn't I? Oh, yes, there we go. See, this is what I'm talking about. I've got the supernatural ability to just jinx myself there. But not too bad. Yeah, is that literally the last action? Yes, the last action of the turn is this submarine attack. Just after I say it. That's typical. That's typical. Right, moving into the ground attacks here. So we do have a deliberate attack then. Yeah, wow. Oh, he's moved actually fairly quickly then. That's somewhat surprising. I didn't expect him to move that quick. But hey, they're retreating towards Yunnan. They retreat towards Yunnan. Yeah, I can catch up to them, really. Yeah, Ops Motor Supply caused quite a bit of damage there. Obviously, going to retreat to Yunnan. We'll be able to catch up on him there in a day, so that's quite good news. I might have to go ahead and bomb them just to make sure they move slower. But there we go, 382 casualties there caused. And a bombardment over here. Indeed, thank God for the Mark 14. Okay. Yeah, a couple more casualties there. This is a 2163 then. We have a shock attack over here then. Yeah. I couldn't remember for the life of me if this was an actual combat unit or a base force, but yeah, there we go. So we forced it to surrender. It marched, bear in mind, it was kicked down at Victoria Point and it was marched all the way over here to captivity. I mean, that's awful for them. Right, here we are. So I'm using the artillery that's right over here to bombard. It looks like his AV has been diminished actually, which is quite nice. I've been intrigued to see what the artillery can actually do. I don't think he has much in the way of ability to actually hit back. But it's good to see that his AV has been diminished. The air power is at least having some impact. And if it's that low, and if we can keep degrading it, we should be able to potentially manage it with what we've got here, to be honest. Especially with the tank regiment as well. Yeah, it's looking fairly good then so far. That's been a major pain. Like, that one should not have been as painful as it has been. We did have that crazy roll where we had like 100 squads disabled of the 21st Division. You're like, wait, what? How does that even happen? There we go. So, looked like it was far worse there, but 61 casualties, 3 squads destroyed, 5 disabled, 1 gun destroyed there. Yeah, he's got 125 guns, but I mean, we had no counter battery fire as far as we could see. So I don't imagine he's got much in the way of supplies, so we'll just keep hitting him until we get to a point where we're fairly comfortable. That's the most screwed RAF base force in existence there, being attacked by the entire might of the 5th Division, supported by multiple independent artillery units, a couple more battalions in there, but regiments of artillery too as well. So yeah, they're pretty much fucked. Yeah, they're fucked. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah. There's no two ways about that, they're dead. That's good. So we can begin moving on towards Lashio now. Yeah, they're just dead. They're dead, Jim. Yeah, that's the Unicon there. Right, deliberate attack over here then. I did actually think about going for a shock attack, but I'm like, they'd like a retreat either way. Yeah, low supply there, no casualties on our end, just inflicting them. So obviously we'll move north there. We will be taking this nasty base over here, which means I can have that tank regiment turned around and head back down this way. But it does mean that the only base in this area now is Yunnan, and he does have Sinning over there, but Sinning's going to be dealt with sooner or later, really. Yunnan as well. Okay, so a deliberate attack against the 100th base force. Hopefully they do surrender. Or they just don't. Wow, okay, 7. Okay. Right. There's 88 of you. There's fucking 88 men. Okay, you're attacked by 1,000. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, sure. Sure, Mr. Grigsby. Sure. As you do. Well, we'll just have to shock attack there tomorrow then. That's, I don't know why it's amusing me so much, it's ridiculous, but it amuses me greatly. Oh dear. Oh dear. Maybe we're in a round of negotiations, really. And there we go, they've arrived at Yokohama Yokosuka to go ahead and be upgraded. That does amuse me. I don't know why it amuses me so greatly. Okay. So a fairly good turn then. We did have some submarine losses, but I hate that. I am unloading supply there, so they should recover some of that strength. So it shouldn't be too bad, really. There we go, 48 Naval Guard has arrived, that's always a good thing to have. Do like those Naval Guards. And there we are. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the traditional save, the new tradition. Save and then reload into the turn when it's hopefully running a little bit more smoothly. But not a bad turn, man, really. Not a bad turn. Still surprised about the sub-chaser, frankly. I find it rather surprising. But the trusty, goddamn. I mean, she got hit square on by a depth charge, so that's interesting, actually. Maybe she just wasn't hit that hard. But I'm surprised. I thought she would have been a dead and buried sub then, to be honest. Okay, we'll take a look at aircraft losses today. So Sonoya's top seas, showing about the top sea, a Lily, zero is never fun, and an SB3 there. Nothing too dramatic. Let's take a look then on our side. Yeah, she's got 59 maneuverability. She's not super fast, but she's not unmaneuverable either. She's got fair maneuverability. Not a great deal, but I suppose it's a speed. That's a small target. But hey, I mean, she can be hit, but the good news is we do have these forces out here, obviously carrying a very large amount of assets over here that have so far made it, which is very nice. And that's the important thing. Are they spotted? Thankfully not. That makes our task all the easier there, which is very nice. That base does not require garrison, which is excelente. Okay, and we're marching on there with the 48th Division and 14th Army. I don't really intend to attack a guy with one division, but I can sit on top of it and make it difficult for him. Right, so we see that he had been positively degraded there, which is very nice. You can keep that up. Maybe we've got 261 assault strength there, but I'll keep it up. It's going well enough. It's going well enough. Yeah, we'll see what the strength is like next turn, but they're probably doomed. I just want to make sure that they are just completely gone. Yes, we're making progress. We should have been at Kyanko maybe a day or two ago, but we had like a little mishap that had their progress reset by accident. But we're marching in there now. We're at 38 miles. So if we make 8 miles tomorrow, we'll arrive at Kyanko. So it's likely we arrive at Kyanko tomorrow then. I'm going to put everybody into combat mode. There we are. Supply situation looks good. The divisions have got the supply they need. And they've had a little bit more time to recover as well, so hopefully that's been put to some use. We've gained a few more days of preparation, which it's a small mercy, I guess. Still looking at 33 units, and it's not too bad. He's had a couple more days to recover, more than he should have, but hey, well. 21 fighters there is intriguing. Looks like there's an increase there, which is somewhat concerning. I may just relent potentially on the bomber activity for the time being, considering they will be crossed next turn. I do worry because I can't. I mean, maybe they're I-15s, maybe there's some sort of terrible fighters, and there could be, but I do worry about there might be something else there. That's what I do worry about. Sure, we'll take a look at that. That's a fair old amount of flotation damage. Ambon's a few hexes away. So we'll head for Ambon. How's that? Yeah, I might as well head to... Ambon's a level 2 port. That's a level 2. It's a level 1. I'll go for Ambon if they make it. They're not likely to make it, but might as well try. Fair old amount of flotation damage there. Might be just picked off by the sub again, but we'll see. Okay. excellent. Right, so I do have some construction units over this way, carrying supply as well, which I'm going to try to get down this way, if I can. I'd like to build that up. I decided to actually cancel this. So you see how we have the 56C and B. I was going to have them move out via strategic transport, but I had completely forgot about these guys. So I had these guys that come from over in Sumatra. So they're unloading here into Batavia. There's only 600 men there. They're going to then retire to the port over here. I did then send from Singapore another task force with AKTs. There's even an AMC in there just to make sure they had enough capacity. But it looks like we might be able to have them both link up over here. So what I'll be able to do then is rather than have... Oh God, I mean, it would have taken 3 days alone to get them on the rail lines. It might have taken about 3-4 days for them to get to... maybe 2 to 3 days or so for them to get to the position where they need to be via rail. And then they would have to unload, and then they'd have to march to Surabaya. So rather than having like a week plus of that sort of time, I think it's just easier just to have a little bit of a delay, wait for the ships to get there, load them up, and then get them dropped off nearby, and then we're all good, aren't we? Or so, Kushi. Is it Kushi or Kushi? I think what it is now. Headquarters is here too, which is nice, so they can be there. But, actually, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at the RD shortly. Now, I could have them potentially move there, but then again, I don't want to have them plan for another target, do I? I think what I'll do is actually move them. I don't want to move in. They're not a base. I'm going to move them into Surabaya. It's going to be some days before we attack anyway. 2 turns of movement, they'll be in there. And then at least they provide that support, which is a useful thing to have there. Helps the men out. Yeah. So we're sitting there with 450 AV. I thought oh. So I did have the reconnaissance regiment, but it looks like I actually forgot to send it out there. I thought I had sent it there. Okay, fair enough. That's okay. Could attack there again. But I'd like to get that armored unit. Maybe I do go ahead and attack again. I mean, this is it. We didn't take any casualties last time, so I think we'll be okay. I guess what I'll do is actually set up an attack. There's not many men here. I'd rather get this done sooner rather than later as well. That's a fair old amount of detection there. We do have a 5th Air Division moving down here. Now, we are 6 hexes away from Semarang. We will be there next turn, which is very useful. But I would like to move fairly quickly, but even at full speed it's not worthwhile because you're only making 4 hexes. They're not going to arrive during the night time. They're going to arrive during the daytime, no matter what really, so, hey well. They just need to make it now. We do have forewarning, ideally. Looks fairly well so far. But who knows how that can change. So the RD then. Yep, continue to make the progress over here. 78% there. No progress on the... Oh no, we do have a little bit of progress on the Suns, that's nice. Chill progress is getting up there. I mean, the Nagasaki one here is doing absolutely awesome. That's really nice. That's doing very well there. Yeah, same for the D4Y1 there too. Looking good. Yep, D4YCs. I'm looking forward to those guys. Jojo's getting there. It started later, but it'll get there. I mean, that one at 7 is doing very well, so at least that'll be something to have there. But they arrive, what, September time, so it doesn't particularly make a tremendous difference. We'll get them this year, really, no matter what. And obviously, as the date closes in, they'll start to repair very quickly. Nick is 14 days, presumably away from being fully repaired. If we're making one a day, that'd be cool. And then we can start to churn those bad boys out. Making a bit of progress there on Key 61. Key 83. Oh, nice. We've got a second 5 over here in the Key 83. It's very nice. Awesome. And it's good to see, so we are making some solid progress there. That'll take a while, but we are making it. Right, so we're looking at 23 here. Okay. Armament, so there's a 164. Armament requirement. The requirement for the actual armament points is very interesting. It seems to increase and decrease some turns. We've got a while before we have to even spend any of that. Just stockpiling the heavy industry points at the moment, but at 544k. Oh, sorry, no. Never mind. Oh, no, it is actually. Yeah, never mind. I don't know. My blind ass can't see sometimes. It sees. Yeah. We're going to have that changed over to the key 100. Oh, the key 45. Right. Yes. Sorry, I thought you meant the key 61. Yeah, what we're going to do then is actually... the reason why it's so large is so we just produce it in ample numbers, really. Because it arrives so soon. That's the reason why we haven't gone for 30 for the R&D, which would have been, like, better. Yeah, just going for that mass production, essentially, when it's available. Okay, so we do see 2 units over here. I don't know what the garrison is there. 3 units here. But soon we'll be able to tie them up. I've got... what's the terrain here? It's clear terrain, so I can imagine it should be okay. Should be okay. Give them a superior commander. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we'll give them a better commander, then just go for the attack. There's not much else to be done. God damn, he escaped me again. Look at son of a bitch. We'll try and launch an attack over here. Yeah, so he's definitely heading down this way, but if we can keep hurting him out that way, that's not a bad thing then. If he stops, we'll catch up to them. Catch up to him. And important will be coming from the opposite direction here, which is nice. Super aggressive commander indeed, yeah. I like that. We did. I mean, the issues is on Major Road. Okay, so we're outside the base, which is good news. So we're going to combat mode there. He's likely going to be crossed then very, very soon. 271 supply, so at least a little bit supply, but not a tremendous amount. Not be long before we can actually then march after him. What I'm going to do then is actually have... Let's see... regiment were beaten up somewhat. Right, I'm going to have them planned here for Chang. But actually, I think what I'll do is wait until they get there. I'll wait until they get there, then at least we can actually make a solid decision then. I just don't want it to be like a fog of war issue and then it be the wrong base we prepare for. Let's see, whereabouts are those bombers? So that's 88, 54. Oh, that's interesting, Ben. Did they actually fly? I don't think they flew today, which is intriguing. Or I might have missed it. I still want to kick those bloody guys out there, but anyway. So 2 units there, 11 units there. So another unit's around at Chungking, which would make sense. We've obviously destroyed units in these days as well before, well, weeks before. So I wouldn't be too surprised if it was units that were being reformed out there. But he hasn't moved anything. We should arrive there tomorrow. Things going well. Okay. $50 miles there, so it'll take a few more days for them to arrive outside Yan'an, but then we can actually march there. So yes, I'm going to have these fellows actually drive on down there towards Gongchang. There's 33 at Qiankou, which makes sense. We saw 32, and then he had the core there. We kicked it back, and then it's been at 33 since. I think it was at 33 before that as well, before that unit actually crossed over there. I do have the salaries here. I do worry about this. I do worry about those fighters. I might be over-worrying, but I just don't like the idea of having a lot of bomb losses. Like, the actual bombers are great, but then great when they can actually act over multiple turns. It's not going to be that rough. I mean, this is it. It's I mean, there's not many easy crosses. It never really is, really. So, I mean, is it going to be that rough? I mean, it could be. I mean, it's ×2 terrain. There are places that are worse to cross into. And a lot of them are like smaller cores. Yeah, we don't need to go south there, Vulcan. I mean, we can We're sure we can do that, but I mean, look at that. I mean, there's no roads here. It takes so long. I guess you could just say it's like a plaster. You've just got to rip it off at some point. Yeah, it's going to be painful to go across, but once we're across, we're across. It's very unlikely that it can actually throw us back across. I do feel it is quite likely that... I don't know. I don't know if we'll win outright. It could happen that we could win outright. But if we don't, well, we have the ability to grind him down. And it's not a bad thing then as well, because that is a big battle out here that is taking supply elsewhere. We have our divisions out here. They're going to be making their way up this way too. So, whether this is going to be the deciding moment, it's going to be a very critical moment either way, because, well, we're actually in the area then. We'll see. I mean, it's one of those of... could have been worse. We could have been fighting him in the tide-free terrain over here. And a shock attack works in our favour, because it gives us that extra... kicking up on a notch on the combat results. So it could be worse. Obviously it could be better, but... I mean, that's a more powerful force out there. We'll be able to attack that in a base. So the beauty is it, well, the beauty of them actually being in the base here at Kianko is that we do benefit from the actual preparation. It's not, I mean, it's a decent amount. I mean, it's like, it's not too bad. Some of them have got a decent amount there. Yeah, see, that was, we're going to cross everything together. That was kind of the thing actually that caused us to go and miss the other day. It's because there was another unit that arrived here that got included in the march with everybody. Well, followed. Yeah, 600 artillery though is a bit of a interesting number. It's like we have 1,221 guns, but obviously that includes like AA guns, it includes mortars too. I'd be damn sure that we have the greater degree of actual proper artillery beyond mortars, so we'll see. Plus AA guns as well get included in that. Yeah. Yeah, if we do win, it'll be a big thing. It will be a big thing. I do have some elements moving down that way too now. We'll have tanks that begin to move over here over time. We should have another headquarters. Yeah, they're going to arrive in Hex. Possibly tomorrow. They should arrive tomorrow. If they make 8 miles, they should arrive there, so I can go in combat mode. Well, the thing is, Avoken, I mean, a lot of those units... And there were units that began at Chungking, but there was also units that were reformed over here at Chungking as well. It's got 33 units and only 120-odd thousand men there. I mean, we see we see 15 units down here that are 140,000 men. I don't know about 3k to 4k. I mean, by that, I mean, we know that was about 2k. I don't know about 3 to 4k. Maybe 1 to 2,000, maybe 2,000 plus, but I don't know about 3 to 4k. So there's... I don't know about that. Maybe adjusted AV, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. Right, so the tank regiment's arrived over here. I can go into that mode there. And we'll have our division arrive tomorrow. Which is cool. Just then wait on the HQ. Well, yeah, hopefully so. I can see what you mean. I wouldn't go as high as 3 to 4k. Well, even if it does turn out to meat grind, it's not the bad. It's not the worst thing, because he's going to inevitably run out of supply fairly quickly then. He's got a lot of units, but a lot of these units are at Kianko. That means he's not going to be able to reinforce these other areas. Yeah. Now, we'll see. I mean, there's no two ways about it. We're only going to find out when we actually do cross over there, really. So, it'll be an interesting one. I mean, we do have 6 divisions that are in good shape. Pretty good shape. Not perfect shape, but in pretty good shape. They've got low fatigue. They've got a decent amount of experience, I guess. We've got some good commanders. We do have the benefit of the 2 armies here. Now, I'm somewhat tempted to have them remain behind, but it might be worthwhile just to have them cross alongside. Possibly, I might have them remain in the hex here, just to make sure we... Don't get them hurt. But they should be okay, I'd imagine. Having some extra support's not a bad thing. We're looking at 2 units over here at Cheng 2, supposedly. Once we're here, we're here. Once we actually have units in the hex, then we can begin to work on things like that. We're going to do some amount of artillery as well. I'm going to endeavour to get tanks down here too. It would have been awesome to have had all the tanks here, but I mean we made a decision. I don't think it was a bad decision, because we never knew what was going to happen out here. It'd have been great to have had all the tanks out here. We'd probably have had a very good chance of winning there with the tanks, but hey well. Alright, move their masses north. I mean, once this is dealt with, I can have additional tanks head down that way too. And once this is dealt with, we can have additional infantry move down there too as well. So that's one of those situations where I think it does favour us. It's going to be tough, but every crossing's tough. But we do gain that shock attack bonus. We do have HQ preparations. We do have Kwantong Army over here as well. Kwantong Army here as well, supporting us. So, 22 prep at the moment for Kienko. Good commander there. We've got obviously the HQs there as well, then obviously the HQ there too. So, we've got as much as we can do to really push in our favour. How you doing there, Snake? Good to have you, my man. We'll see. We'll see. Not a tremendous amount. It was a pretty good turn as far as it goes. Nothing particularly major, but we should in theory arrive at Kienko tomorrow. We'll see about that. Okay. Alright, so we have the base here. You just continue to march there. Moving in now towards Hami. Any activity on the sea? It's a good question. It looks like there's more than one ship there. We've seen him increase the amount of spotting aircraft there. Oh, there we go. So we do have... see, I thought that Kidavatai was actually... I think that must have been a change there. That's a good one. That's a good one. How you doing there, Doom? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, so we're looking good. We've got everybody together here. That's awesome news. Yep, undetected. Awesome. I thought I'd had things set up, but I think that might have been Gary who set that one up actually as well. We do have our 15th Tank Regiment closing in as well. So I we can have the tanks close in too to help us out. Now, we do have our division over here as well. Let's see. Ooh. How strong was the regiment? I think the regiment was like... What was it? Regiments usually tend to be about 140 odd AV. And then there's 2 naval guard units, so... Like 300, 300 being the absolute highest. We do have tanks that are going to join them as well. There's also the 2nd Division over here as well, which we're going to have likely as a 3rd wave if needs be. No idea about the fortifications on Wake. Yeah. What we're going to be looking towards doing is pulling off a couple of bombardments if we can, really. The reason being... And the only reason why we couldn't bombard him multiple times is potentially... Well, we'll see about submarines perhaps. But we'll see where his carriers are. They're going to probably show up at some point. But we do have a division there. What we're going to do then is... we might go ahead first with the 2 Naval Guard Tank Regiment, perhaps. We're going to be aware of the actual stacking limit. And then we could potentially pull them back afterwards and have the regiment dropped. And then potentially you could even pull in the... push in the division detachments then. Or division. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's an interesting commitment to Wake. It'd be nice when we do eventually take it. I can't see how we can't eventually take it. I mean, we're going to have quite a lot of firepower brought to bear. It's closer to us. It's going to be one of those where it's difficult for him to just really sustain. Can you stay in the same hex as Wake or your ships? Is that too risky? It depends, really. I don't really think we much gain from it. I mean, we'll drop the troops off and then those ships will unload and then they'll retire. No, of course they can have Oaken, but I mean, this is it. It's not as if we're going in half-assed. Yeah, we'll see that. Yeah, we'll see. This is it. We're not going to rush it. We've still got quite a few days left of March for the actual amphibious bonus, which is nice. So we can take our time there. Yeah, I believe short range. I'm not too sure if the range particularly matters. I think it's more about detection level. I mean, a shell at 1,000 yards is just as deadly as a shell at 10,000 yards when it hits you, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it works like that, maybe it doesn't. Alright, so we saw detection, yeah. So it's still got good detection. Having the detection is going to make the bombardment, I suppose, rather more accurate is the way to describe it. Okay. Not seeing anything in the cooktown is intriguing. Do we get some fuel down here to Talagi? Yeah, he's above the stacking limit there. Well, I don't know about that evoke, and I don't know about what the particular details of that one was. We're not just going to go and bombard once, we're going to aim to just bombard multiple times. I guess we'll see. We'll see. I don't think there's any point being too, like, down about it. It's one of those where we're going to go for it, and it's not as if we're half-assing it, so there's only one thing for it, really. Well, I know, but then again, you could always say that there's the roll of a dice there as well that can impact on that. Just because something hard doesn't... I mean, this is it. I mean, like, okay, it'll be tough. We know that. I don't think we're under-prepared. I mean, do you think we're under-prepared? I don't know how we could be more prepared, really. Yeah, I mean, if we can't win Wake... Well, of course, we don't have 100 prep. The regiment, I think, might have a good deal of prep. But I mean, how long has the game been going on for? So we're 95 turns in. I can't remember when we tried going for Wake. I mean, it's one of those things that we never knew the situation was going to develop like this. They need to prep for Wake. The 33rd Regiment has nearly 100 prep, which is nice. Yeah, 97. A few days before we get there. Before the actual land, I'm not too sure. We'll just see how things go, really. I'd like to just bombard as much as we get the opportunity to do so, really. Okay. And some tanks to be sure, nice. That's a reformed unit there. There was one that was destroyed in China and reformed in Tokyo. Let's see then. Yeah, it would be nice to have Yamato. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's one of those where they can put up a fight. I think we'll eventually break in anyway. I mean, if we can't break this at this point now, then yeah, it doesn't save any much for us, does it? That'll go well enough. Can do nothing but just carry it out, really. No two ways about that one. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some mines out here to like it too. Just need to get that fuel down there. Okay, yep, most of the naval HQ there is in position, which is nice. I think the Yamato has, yeah. I know Evoker, but that's not set up properly as of yet. And this isn't the final shape of how it's going to go in there. Besides, we're not just going to move it as one force like that. So obviously we'll have things set up. It's one of those. I could talk about it all day, but until we actually get there, there's not much I can say. Obviously, we're not going to go in like that. There's 12 auxiliaries awake, at the moment at least. So these subs do have to retire. It looks like he's building up Dutch Harbour, so at least we're aware of that. It'd be cool to try and get some hits at Dutch Harbour, but I don't think he's going to make it easy. But at least we know he's actually working on Dutch Harbour. I wouldn't be surprised if he's reinforcement to an extent. So we have Paramashiro Jima here. Yeah, I can stop expanding the airfield now. I might go ahead and expand the port, to be honest. But then again, I don't want to make it better for him if he ever tries to take it, really. Alright, we'll see. How are we looking here then? So that disruption's down, fatigue's down. I do have these additional tanks on their way. They'll make it to Prime tomorrow, then at least I can shake off a little bit of that fatigue. Yeah, these bloody units have been a pain in the arse. They really should not have actually held that much attention. Makes really very little sense there. So drop some mines in here, the cheeky bugger. Cheeky indeed. Yeah, well. I can clear those mines. Yeah, it's 4 DMSs there as well. So I did move these assets over here, so what I can go ahead and do is get them loaded up. Oops, not new. There we are. And the Illusion Islands will be worth a fair amount, really, in a way. What they represent is an additional barrier in the north. It gives us submarine bases out that way. And if we do go for the Soviet Union, they're going to be very important to try and isolate the Soviets as much as possible, really. Alright. That's a considerably larger unit, though. So we'll go for a shock attack. I mean, there's got, what, 89 men there? It should be destroyed, surely. We do have them moving across there. It's going to take a very long time, but at least they're there. And if he moves north, then that's not going to much matter. Okay. Well, that's it, in a sense, yeah. Okay, so we do have Imperial Guard Division that's arrived at last. And we'll have a march into last show. Well, actually, no, saying that, we do have 5th Division here as well. I'm going to have them make a move. They can also move out towards last show. Oops. Yeah, set out to march to that destination. So it'd have been great to have had the artillery here, but that's fine. That's a situation that's not going to last particularly much longer. I think we will go ahead and attack again. He was low on supplies, so I think it's worthwhile to attack where we do have the upper hand there. I really do want to land units there. And now that we've dealt with this, I can actually go ahead and do something like that. Even if I can't land here, I could land here and then block the road, which would be awesome. Then I could try to march inland. I could even try to take the base at Akyab and just really try and make it so he can't escape, and that'd be great for us. Yeah, having these 2 APDs is superb. That's fine. Yeah, so what we can do then is we can get them loaded up. What I'm going to do then is actually have them... I'm going to have them set there. What I can do is actually have them loaded... So I could have them potentially dropped at 2 points, like there and potentially even there. Or even just there. It would be... I mean, probably better just to go for the 1 there. But it depends on how much AV they can drop off their 1 move. But it'd be awesome to get them moving out there. What I could do then is have them moved. I could even potentially amphibious transport, well, fast transport some additional forces there. But I don't think it's worthwhile. I can drop them amphibiously, then at least they arrive in combat mode. Actually works out well. I could probably do with moving those AKs elsewhere, frankly. Okay, moving that fuel there. They were there, so for well, might as well get them to load up some fuel. I might even have that fuel shifted elsewhere, to be honest, but I had to just send there just for the time being. And I could have that potentially shifted elsewhere. It's an interesting one. Without having read upon this subject, I can't really give an answer as to that one. I can imagine there's a lot of different reasons involved in that. That's a good old amount of resources there. Okay, I'm going to dock and unload that supply. We have an unloaded supply in here, which is good. So if I can have them set to replacements, that'd be nice. They should get those replacements, or at least they should recover from that point onwards then. Okay. So we do have additional supply moving down here now. It's good. Very good. Just need to increase the amount of supply, but again, it'd be nice to try and get it up to like 100k-ish again in that area. Yeah, let's see about that. No, looking pretty good. It's looking pretty solid. I'm just going to wait until we can get the additional AV down here to start a buyer, then we can go ahead and actually consider an attack. He really doesn't have that many guns, though, which is actually pretty astounding. I mean, if that's like, is that accurate? That's 9 out of 10, so it's not inaccurate. I don't know. It's a very low number. I'd be interested to see what a bombardment would reveal there, perhaps. I mean, the Soviet invasion of Manchuria, I think, is... I suppose it's one of the greatest examples of like a sort of blitzkrieg strategy. I suppose one that's a heck of a lot more capable. I read it on it a while ago. It's something I'd have to take a look into again. Very intriguing. Okay, yep, they've arrived safely. Can actually make use of these ships now. As for where, I'm not too sure. Right, okay, so the 21st Division's arrived here then. We'll have them split into 3. What I'll do then is actually... that's 63... 60... 69. Yeah, it doesn't really matter whether the land scale is. I'm looking at the administrative capabilities because that's the one that's going to help them recover sooner rather than later. But yeah, they're going to have just recover there. I can't believe how much their AV was buggered. But that's a division that'll take some time to recover, really. It might be that we even move it back to a very, a larger base, perhaps? But it should be okay, Manila. Oh, speaking of which... do I want to expand that airfield? I'm going to say no, I guess. Maybe we do. I'll just leave it for the time being. It could be worthwhile doing. In fairness, I mean, what we've got here, size 5. We should be exempt from malaria here. I'm pretty sure we should be exempt. Yeah, it looks like we should be exempt there. No, there were some nice results out here. I'd consider attacking, but frankly, I just don't want to have a result like where we have lots and lots of disabled again. So I'm going to let them bombard, continue the actual attack via the air. Yeah, I know. Aye, not a bad point then. Fair enough. Yeah, might as well. Okay, I could do a fortifying. I'll go with the fortifications. Can always do the airfield later if we need it. Supply situation is pretty good, to be fair. Did move supply down here, so it's 4,200 there, there's another 1,000 there. There's a few There you go. A nice shift around here and there. Got 7k there, Clark. 34k now. It's enough for now. Oh, overall, yeah. Okay. And go multiple times around. So do that as a shock attack. It's essentially going to be a destroyed unit at that point then. And then we can start moving over here to Nanning, which would be nice. I'm going to have them plan for that target there. It's not a huge loss, but even having 0 prep is actually still better than having no prep at all. He didn't attack us here, which is good news. Oh yeah, they're fine, they're fine. Yeah, what about how they... Yeah, no, they're doing fine. It hasn't really had any submarines in the area, to be honest. I think you could say that a good deal of them are in this area. He's quite happy about that. It's an interesting usage of them, really. And it's worrying. It's a very worrying thing there. But it's bearing fruit for him. Yeah, I mean, we've not overly expanded industry. I mean, we're not really going to go with any sort of industry expansion. And the reason for that is, well, principally, we don't particularly need it. And we can capture additional industry in China, and it doesn't cost us all that supply. Not too sure there, Snake. I'd imagine he'd know about that. He just doesn't seem to be going for that sort of doctrine at a moment in time. Maybe things will change. We'll see. Righto. No, it's going fairly well then. Just waiting on things to tick on by at this moment in time. So see the destroyer escorts there, that's not too surprising. Looking forward to when we can capture all these bases out here. Indeed. It's nice to actually be able to see where the shallow water is now. It's very nice. Oh look, he finally sent, yeah, he finally remembered about the submarine here. Okie-dokie. So we know there's a sub in here then. Which is rather irritating, the amount of times he's moved into this hex and not had any issues with mines. But it's about typical. Okay. Potentially so. But in fairness, it's not like we rely on the Mark 14 failing overly much. I mean, we do as much as we can to mitigate enemy submarine capability, but yeah. Alright, so we are pumping more supply there into Roynama. 400 left there. They're out of fuel apparently. That's a shame. There's another 1,000 supply here. And we do have another 3,000 supply there. Yeah, and we have kept the Marshall Islands essentially bone dry for a long while. Looking forward to change that in the near future, potentially. At least we're supplying a little bit of fuel there. That's interesting. I mean, he, in theory, should have detection there. Well, I know they're Snake, but I mean, like, what else could we have done against them? I mean, it's like, in my opinion, if you're relying on the Mark 14 to fail, then okay, that just sounds like, it sounds like wishful thinking, really. We've never really gone about things like that, as far as it goes. I mean, when they become more reliable, they become more reliable, but the thing is, a submarine still has to hit. And everything's still the same, you know, it's just, well, he has a more reliable torpedo. But I mean, even with our torpedoes, we still have failures, so, yeah. You never know. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, we are going quite all ahead full with that. Okay, so frankly, there's not that much to really do in this moment in time. It's quite nice. Just waiting on things just to tick on by. So, that was cool. Looking cool. Nice. So I'll go ahead and call it about here. I'm pretty tired, and I still have all this work to do. So I'm going to say a big thank you there, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a good one. And it will be intriguing to see what happens next. I can imagine it's going to be a bloody few days, but we have had bloody days in the past. We'll get through them, really. If you guys have enjoyed this, please do consider supporting myself as a content creator if you do feel I've earned it. And until next time, thank you, and oyasumi nasai. There we are. Sayonara. Goodbye for now. Till next time.